There is something down here I need to be honest about. I broke this when I pulled it out. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we are back with our third part of the brutally honest review of my car series. And today is going to be the E46. So we've done the Crown, we've done the Supra, and I want to get into the E46 and talk to you about, brutally honest review of this car. The good, the bad, the ugly, all that kind of stuff. Exterior, interior, suspension, engine, all that good stuff. So guys, if you do like this kind of series, let me know by liking, subscribing, commenting, all that kind of stuff. But without further ado, I want to jump on right into this little review. Okay, so like the other videos, I have taken it for a drive. I can't take this for a drive, haven't got a permit. As you guys know, it's not registered at the moment. So I'm just gonna do a walk around for you guys, jump in the car, that kind of thing. Sorry, we can't take it for a drive. Now, to cover the exterior first, I am in love with this paint. I'm in love with the exterior of this car. I've always loved the shape of the E46. Whether you go the 318 or you go up to like the M, the M series or the 330s, things like that, I just love the shape. Granted, the like the M3 has a bit of a wider stance to it, wider body, whatever. Do prefer that slightly, but for the difference in cost from this to like a M3, it's ridiculous. Like this was, I don't know, a few grand. An M3 is like 50, 60. So, so for what I get, I'm very, very happy. Now, to be brutally honest, love the wheels. They didn't come out as gloss as I wanted them to. I'm okay with that because I think they suit it. I think it's like a satin finish. It was meant to be a gloss finish, but it came out kind of satin, and I think it looks really good. I'm stoked how it turned out. I didn't want the paint to be like the Supra's paint job. I didn't want a show job because you do get paranoid and scared to drive it. I'm scared to drive the Supra when it rains, all that kind of stuff. To be honest with you, I'm actually not pulling this out into the rain today because I can't be bothered washing it again. As you guys know, I will drive my cars in the rain, but I'll just wash them straight away so that they're not, in bad condition. But yeah, this has come out exactly how I wanted it. It's like 98%. It's amazing. There might be like a speck of dust here or there in the paint, something like that. Down on the bonnet here, there is a slight like sanding mark you can see from my prep job, but only if you get like right in, get it on the right angle, all that kind of thing. So it doesn't bother me at all. And one day I actually may go a carbon bonnet. I do like the double vented bonnets. So then that issue's gone completely. So it doesn't bother me. Carbon lip, in love with. Angel eyes, in love with. The tint that came out so good. Really, really happy with it. Now, coming to the back of the car, we have got a couple of little issues. Not issues, but like things we got to finish. Obviously, these taillights suck. So these are the stock ones. They're like not great condition. The boot lid lights are broken. You guys would have seen a video of me fixing them. They're just tinted just to kind of make them look okay, but I have found a set that I really want, so I'll be getting those after the holiday. And the rear diffuser was broken, so we don't have one. There's no rear diffuser on it, but I have found a replacement and it's sick. You guys are gonna love it. I'm again gonna get that once we get back from the trip. So like, honestly, I can't fault these cars. I wish I had got one sooner. I wish I'd got one when I was younger. If I didn't get the Supra and I could get one of these at the price point that they are in at, I would have grabbed one of these 100%. I love this thing. Like, they just look so good, in my opinion anyway. Like, the way they sit on the road, oh man, they just sit right. This bumper, like, I love that the bumpers were plastic. So I'm used to like Japanese cars where pretty much everything's fiberglass. So when you got to do something, fiberglass bumper, fiberglass side skirts, fiberglass whatever, it gets really painful because like fiberglass hard to work with. This straight bolt up. It's a Mars Performance M3 style, and I got these little fog light surrounds from like, I don't know, AliExpress or something for like 30 bucks. Amazing, fit perfectly. New fog lights, amazing. Like, I don't know, I think they're like 50 bucks. Like, everything just works. Everything just kind of, it's so easy to work on these. Side skirts plastic, rear bumper plastic. You just prep it, you paint it, and it's all good. Mirror caps, they were like 30, 40 bucks from AliExpress. They were the fake carbon look, but obviously we painted them because no fake carbon. Yeah, I'm in love with this thing. Now, suspension wise, as you guys may remember, when we first got the car, the front suspension was cooked, like it was completely collapsed and it was horrible. So we went max speeding rods, coilovers. I have heard many mixed reviews. Some people despise them, some people love them. I haven't really had any issues. Also, I went from completely broken suspension to fixed suspension riding evenly. So, you know, I'm pretty happy. Now, this side does sit slightly higher than the other side at the rear, completely, perfectly, evenly set. I think maybe it's just the springs. I've heard that other people have had the same issue with these. So be it. I'm probably going to upgrade at some point, like when the build's done. But for now, I'm really happy with them. They perform just as well as I want them to. Height adjustable, all that jazz. And I've got the ride height exactly where I want it, so that that side of the car is as even as possible. See how it's got a bit of a rake kind of to it, but we're tucking there, but we're not tucking there. It's just kind of how the arches sit, all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to get this as even as I can with this being as even as I can. 6 of one, half and a dozen of the other kind of game, you know? But yeah, I'm really happy how it's sitting. So I can't really complain. Love it. All right, look, let's jump inside and let's have a chat about that. All right, interior. I actually really like the layout of these interiors. Now, I'm a big interior person because this is what you see all the time when you're driving. This is what you are mainly looking at. There's some things that I've done that I want to pull out. There's some things I've done I want to redo, things like that, but we'll cover them now. So seats, in love. Head unit, in love. The blacking out of the dash trims, love it. I do want to black out the handles there and back there, but what I'm probably going to do is actually pull that out, pull all these out again, unwrap them, and then actually go and get them painted so they're professionally done, just so that it's done, you know, as good as it can be. I wanted to make sure I liked that look, and I do, so that's awesome. So yeah, we'll get them professionally done. This, not a big fan of. It's the fake carbon look. Yeah, it doesn't fit right. I mean, it does, but like, I just don't like the shape. I don't like this leather boot. It's a bit cheap and nasty. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably put the factory one back on, which is like metal, and it's nice heavy kind of feel in your hand. So it feels durable and everything. So I'm gonna put that back on, but we're gonna paint it black or probably powder coat it black, just because like we can, and it's metal, so we can powder coat that. Not a big fan of that boot there or that shifter. Just a fake carbon. I just think it looks a little bit cheap. Not the biggest fan of it, but that's going to change in a minute. We'll talk about that in a sec. So yeah, just these couple little things I will be changing. Apart from that, I'm really happy with the interior. At the back, I feel like the leather in the back needs a good condition, but there's no rips, there's no tears, there's no stains. So just getting in there and giving it a good proper detail, proper once over, I think will be the go. I love how the pillars have turned out, like the B pillars, the A pillars, the C pillars. That was a weird way to list those, but the suede wrapping, Alcantara wrapping, whatever it was, came up mint. Super stoked with it. Now, one thing that I'm not super happy about is the steering wheel. It came out okay. I like the badge, the horn looks all good, all that kind of thing, but you see how we kind of got loose bits still? I don't like that. In a Supra, it's very tight fitting, and it was really hard to actually wrap in a Supra because like it literally took me like 12 hours of kind of pulling, you know, like when you tighten your shoes up and you kind of like pull there, pull there, pull there, pull there, and then tighten them up. You've got to do that here all the way up, and then do it again, do it again, do it again, and you just keep going and going and going until it pulls it all the way in, and it's really good. This one, I think that maybe they sent me, I don't know if this is genuine leather. The Supra's one feels very different because you can get genuine leather or that PU leather, which I'm assuming is just like plastic leather or pleather, whatever it is. I think this is that because it just doesn't fit the same, doesn't feel the same. So what I am gonna do, I have found a carbon fiber piece that replaces that and one that replaces this, and I'm gonna get another leather wrap, make sure it is the leather, rip this one off, pull that off, redo this whole thing and just refresh the whole steering wheel, and it'll come up incredible. I know it will. I'm really happy with how the dash turned out. came up amazing. I really think the interior of these cars is very, very nice. Like, it's sporty enough to be a sports car, but it's also kind of simple enough to be a daily. Like, this is the perfect, I guess you could call it budget sports car daily. Like, yeah, they're good. They're really good. They're really easy to work on. Things just come apart very easily, put back together. There is something down here I need to be honest about. I broke this when I pulled it out, I don't know, a while ago. I do need to get the new surround that goes in here so that fits in properly, which is I think that's the M3 surround. A few $100 and it just wasn't on my priorities at the time. So I will be getting that so that fits in perfectly. And this is going to become a manual anyway, so I need to get the manual surround. So my heart's not broken that this is, you know, damaged. It's fine. I'll just go through, get the manual one. When I do the swap, that gets rid of this, that gets rid of this. And I'll paint that one black when I get all the other interior bits painted, and it'll come up good. Yeah, I'm probably going to go with Alcantara, boot and boot, because I mean, we've got the Alcantara on the A, B and C pillars, so may as well match it down there. And I think that looks really smart. I really like that look. I may even get, when I do this, I may get perforated leather with Alcantara top and bottom. Not sure. I think that will look really smart. So we'll see what's available when I actually buy it. Now let's jump on into the engine bay. All right, now engine wise. When I first got the car, you guys will remember that we had a big valve cover gasket leak, so that's been replaced. There was a power steering leak as well, so that's been replaced. The engine bay hasn't been painted. I'm not fussed about that. It really doesn't bother me in the slightest, because it's dark grey to light grey. Like, it's fine in my opinion. I don't really mind. I was going to black it out like I did on the Supra, but I kind of didn't be bothered because it doesn't bother me at all. Like, literally not even 1%. Yeah, if it was car color it would look better, but not bothered. There are still a couple of little leaks on this, which does suck, but I think there's a knock. I'm not 100% sure. When we actually start the car, yeah, it's got like a slight kind of it sounds like a knock, but this is the first E46 I've had. I don't know if like these sound a little bit kind of lumpy, like clunky kind of thing. I know there's like an injector tick, and that's fine, that's normal, but yeah, it just sounds like it has dropped, I don't know, its bottom end a little bit. Like, it sounds like it's done like maybe a big end bearing or something. I don't know. It's nothing crazy. It doesn't stop it driving or anything, and I'm more than happy to just keep driving this until it dies. It's a 323. It's not like it's a really well-renowned motor. It's not like everyone's gone, I need that engine, so I'm not really bothered. If it's not damaged and it's just like a thing, let me know in the comments. Oh yeah, they just sound a bit clunky, a bit trucky or whatever. If so, great, it means the motor's still fine, and I'll just sell it to someone cheap when we do the motor conversion, of which I'm about to talk about. We are going to be ripping the motor out, if you guys have seen before. If not, here's your news. Motor and gearbox are coming out. We're doing a manual swap and we're doing a new engine. I can't remember if I've told you what one it is. I'm not going to if I haven't, because it's going to be a surprise. I've literally got it purchased. I'm just waiting for it to get shipped over. And when I do the conversion, I would like to keep as much factory stuff as I can. So like factory fans, factory intake, factory shroud, things like that. Whatever I can keep factory, I'm going to, and then drop the new engine in. It is not a BMW engine. It is a different company's engine. And I want to see what I can fit in. And I'm going to be keeping air conditioning, power steering, ABS, everything. I'm going to keep all of it. There's no way I'm running no air conditioning. I've never done it in any of my cars. I've had air conditioning like down for like a month once in the Supra because it needed gassing, and I'm never doing that again. I hate being the person on cruises that is sweating. Granted, I'm in Melbourne now, so it's different. But when I was living in Perth, and you're driving along in 40-degree heat and everyone's rolling with their windows down because they've got no aircon and they're just struggling, sweating, and you're sitting there, aircon on, windows up, loving life. Boys, oh, it's the best feeling. So now look, it's not the fastest car, but for a 323, I'm pretty impressed. So I had years ago a 318i sedan, E46. I sold it, made a bit of money on it. Actually, I made a sweet deal, got it for 500 bucks, fixed it up, sold it for like 4.5 grand, because that was the going rate for them at the time, and took that money, spent it in America. So that was cool. Kind of spewing I sold it, but at the same time, I always wanted a 2-door, not a 4-door. That was black, like M Sport 318i. I don't know if it was just like badged up and put the wheels on and stuff. I didn't know a lot about BMWs back then. I don't know if they even do a M Sport up version of a 318, because obviously like the bottom version. I don't know. You guys let me know. But that was slow. Like that was a slug. It was kind of scary slow. You try and put your foot down and get out of a situation, you ain't going. Like it was real slow. Whereas this, I was assuming it was going to be similar, not caring because I already had the engine conversion idea in mind. This was always the plan for this car from like the day I saw it on the auctions. But honestly, it's pretty good. Like if you've got a 323, it's a nice little buzz around. If this was manual, like it'd be probably chirping the wheels. It'd be a fun little zoom around car. It's only got, what are they, like 170 horsepower on the 323, whereas if you go up to like the 330, you've got 231 horsepower? I think it's that, correct me if I'm wrong, but 230, pretty good. If you went and did like an exhaust, maybe like a bit of a tune, that kind of thing, you're probably getting around the 250 mark. Like that's pretty good power for a car this, you know, this small and light. It's great. Like I don't think I would really be complaining. When we go the new engine, I'm only aiming for like a max of 400 horse. I'm probably aiming for more around the 330, 340, oh sorry, 330, 350 mark, but really like responsive tune. So I mean, that's not that far off 250, you know? So if you've already got it, if you're going to get an E46 and you're like, oh, what should I get? Go to 330 if you can. Probably 325 is probably a little bit faster than this, I'm assuming. But to be honest, like 330 is probably enough power to have a lot of fun with. You can take it to a track and stuff. So this, you might get bored with it pretty quickly, because yeah, it's only like, yeah, the 170 horsepower. But to be honest, for 170 horsepower, it's punchy. It's like, it's chirpy. It's not like, oh, put your foot down, you're waiting 2 hours to go anywhere. You put your foot down, off you go. Like it's very responsive for the only 170 horsepower. I'm really, really impressed. People have asked me in the comments, oh, should I buy an E46 my first car? Yep. No questions asked. Yep. That's 100% what you should buy right now. You can't get Japanese cars at the moment because they're crazy expensive. These are cheap. They're nice. They're fun to drive. They look beautiful. There's like an array of aftermarket support for like mods, parts, replacement parts, upgrades, whatever you want. Like the stylings go as far as you want. And like I keep harping on about it, but plastic bumpers, the what? Like that's the best bit. You can do a whole bunch of different designs, whatever you want, side skirts, rear bumpers, like you can go full M3 look if you want. There's so much stuff, and it's fair, it's well priced. It's not going to break the bank. You know, yes, you can go carbon fiber hood, carbon fiber boot, carbon fiber blah 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 blah, and break the bank if you want. Like that's the cool thing. You can go from like the fair end of the line and still end up with something cool, example, or you can go the really expensive end of the line and end up with something dope. Yes, it will cost you a lot more money, but it's gonna be sick. So totally worth it. Now, one thing that one of my mates was actually telling me, hold on, give me a sec. One thing one of my mates was telling me, we're both like Japanese car people at heart, so we didn't really look into the Euro cars too much, but he was like, what year is that? Because once they go past the kind of rounder shape, aka E46, because like the E36 obviously looks squarer and blockier, so you automatically assume, oh, that's older. He goes, once they go to the newer shape, I don't even know. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't know what's the newest, what's the oldest, what's whatever. Like obviously the really new ones that are coming out, you can tell now, you know, that's a new one. But if you just saw this driving down the road and you didn't really know anything about BMWs or cars or whatever, you'd be like, oh, that's a nice new car, especially with like the LED lights and the fresh paint and the nice wheels, all that kind of thing. It's still very modern. It still holds its own in this era, which is awesome. You know, you drive around in a 2000 model car, this is to 02, but whatever, and it's still looking nice and new. It's not like you're driving something that looks bunky and old, and I'm not saying that old and is bad by any means. Like, there's a lot of older cars that look sick, but if you want something that's still modern looking, like, it's still modern looking, guys. It looks dope. I love this thing. Yeah, a couple of like little things. Yeah, maybe the engine's not as powerful as you really want. Maybe we should be upgrading the suspension to something a bit better. Probably upgrade the brakes at some point, things like that. But really, for your money, you're getting such a good car out of these. You really, really are. If you're someone that's like looking for a project or looking for something new or whatever, I couldn't go past these. I love this thing. So guys, just a little quick on today. Wanted to do an honest review of the E46, let you guys know exactly what I think and the things that I would do again, will fix, things like that. There's also obviously a whole bunch more stuff coming, like there's exhaust stuff, there's that rear diffuser, there's the tail lights, there's the engine, there's the gearbox, there's so much coming. But in between all of that, I will be fixing the little things that I've done and I'm not super happy with, like the steering wheel and stuff like that. The steering wheel I'm actually going to make a proper feature video on and show you guys exactly what I buy, how I do it, how much it costs me, all that sort of thing, because there's a bunch of you that may want to do something like that. I was looking this morning, you can get aftermarket steering wheels that are full carbon fiber and look really cool, but they're around the $1,700 mark, when I know that one, when I redo it, it's probably going to cost me under $200 and it's going to look fresh. So, you know, I'll make a full video on that. But yeah, I wanted to cover it, wanted to talk to you guys about it because I am just so impressed by this car, by these cars. If it wasn't for the fact that I was lucky enough to buy the Supra back in the day when it was cheap and I spent all my time into that, this is what I would have got. But back then, this was really expensive. This wasn't a nice cheap car back then. Like, I paid $2,000 for this. It's out there. Well, $1,900 is what I won the $1,909 is what I won the auction for, and then it was $2,300 with fees. That's how much this set me back to actually buy from the auctions, and then a service and maybe $300 in parts. And I could, if I fix that slight little leak, I could probably go and register this tomorrow and be driving it around straight away. So I'd be maybe $2,500 deep plus registration. So you're at like $3,500, $4,000 plus a paint job, but ignore that. You know, you got a great car. Like, guys, if you're trying to get a nice little coupe, just go for it, you know? All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope it was a little bit of fun for you. I hope you E46 lovers out there, jump in the comments. Guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed and you want to, because only 10% of people that watch my videos are subscribed, and that really helps the channel. The more subscribers we can get, the more views we get, the more YouTube puts their videos out to other people. So, you know, all the good bits happen. Sponsors will start seeing the channel and they're like, oh, it's actually growing, that's a big channel, maybe we'll get on board. And then if we start getting sponsors, oh, I can't wait. Like, this whole place is gonna be filled with cars, you know what I mean? Like, oh, if we start getting sponsors, it's gonna be the best. So yeah, that's why I wanna grow the channel, because I obviously, you know, Patreon, I love you guys to sign up to Patreon, it helps so much, but sponsors means companies pay me. You guys don't even have to pay me. You guys just get to chill on your couch and enjoy watching the videos. So that would be the best. So yeah, if you could subscribe, share it to your friends or whatever, that would be amazing. Really appreciate it. But apart from that, it's all we've got time for today, guys. Thank you for coming along, and I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.